Holy shit, we're all here at like on time.
Insane.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
This is a first. I think we could fucking do it live, guys. Maybe.
Fucking thing.
Can I hear that sound like?
Motherfucker, do it live. Okay.
Cruising with Steve. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising with Steve. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising with Steve.
Woo! Welcome back, Cruising with Steak. Yeah, high energy show tonight, guys. Woo! Grimsteak here. Grimsteak here. Let's introduce some people. We got James Cruz, the man, James Cruz. What's up?
Yes.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. We got Jerry Cthulhu. There he is over there. Let's tone it back, guys. He's
He's eating.
here, and we also there
he's
he is. And then we got Mr. Cliff Wall, aka Felix, aka Zupdog.
First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is.
Oh. And then next we have, right in the nick of time, Mr. Watcher. Here he is.
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful.
Good.
Wonderful. Here we are, guys. Tuesday night. Cruise with Steak night. Rain, snow, sleet, shine, storms. We're here, like the fucking post office, delivering.
Yeah, man.
2 shows a week. We gave you a bonus episode this week. So if you guys love us, cruisewithsteak.com/donate. Think about it.
I was just gonna say that. You know,
throw some coins into our cup. Maybe.
we do this for you guys. I mean,
for you.
particularly I do this for the ladies for sure. But
It's all about the ladies.
I mean,
It's just
but
all
we
these
do
swinging, all about the ladies in a room full of swinging
I do
dicks. I love
I do it
this.
for
sausage fest.
I do it for the penguins.
The penguins. Yeah,
that.
they're cute and lovable, aren't they? And yeah, man, check out the site cruisingwithsteak.com, and then there is a donate button. We don't have Patreon or anything.
No, fuck Patreon.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't have anything
we could say
like
that because we don't have a Patreon. People who are on Patreon, you'll notice they won't talk shit about Patreon.
Yeah, fuck them.
So,
yeah, I mean,
but we
we're
can
just
do
a
that.
value for value, man. If
Yeah, man.
find any value in this show, feel free to donate.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
Or send us like
Or send them a.
boxes of dicks or something.
I was gonna say send them a horse head.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
I'd like to pay Felix once in a while, and I
Right.
need some loot, dudes.
we need to just masturbate ourselves with this money.
Yeah.
Just give us money so we can give Felix some money.
Enough of that. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's really great. It does make you. Well, at least it makes me feel very special, and
Mhm.
that when we do get a donation, it's awesome. It's a
It
good
is.
feeling.
It's enough of that bullshit.
Chip in.
Now I feel like
I've
we're
been
one of
wanting
those
to donate.
podcasts.
I'm gonna go to your page and donate.
Hey, I'm on that guy. Oh, that'd be awesome.
We should look up the etymology of the word donate.
Okay, let's check it out. Let's see. Let's go to the Book of Knowledge. Consult the Book of Knowledge.
Etymology donate. It's a back formation from donation. 18th century. You guys looking this up?
No, absolutely not. I'm just gonna assume that it means you sound pretty serious about it.
Old French donation,
Ooh,
directly from the Latin donationem, nominative of a donatio, a presenting or a giving. Give a gift. A gift.
Is that where donut comes from?
is it?
I was just gonna say that.
It's very possible.
The dough part means to give. Like give, like donut would be give nuts.
It's a little fun fact.
Yeah, mid 15th century.
So teabagging, really.
Teabagging. Carpetbaggers? What am I even talking about?
You got sidetracked.
I got sidetracked. Let me switch this around here.
You ever had a big kahuna burger?
I got a book recommendation right off the bat.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
I think I randomly came across this book at a thrift shop, and it was called Death and the Penguin. And he's like a Ukrainian author. I really like the kind of the simplicity of how he writes, and it's little bit of hints of surrealism. And The Death in the Penguin follows a guy who's trying to write a novel, but to make money, he actually writes obituaries for a newspaper.
Kind of the sequel to Sex in the City.
Mm-mm. And he also has a pet penguin, and the penguin's just always there with him, and the penguin is just constantly there, and it has a kind of a personality. The penguin never talks, but it's just like this guy's rock. It's like his motivation. But it's good. Death in the Penguin, and I picked up a couple other books by him. Another one's called Penguin Lost, and the newest one I'm reading right now is called I think it's called The Night of the Milkmen.
I remember the Dead Milkmen. It's a good band, so punk band.
Punk band?
Milk?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh man, I went down a fucking industrial rabbit hole before the show. So much Skinny Puppy and My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult it was poisoning me. It's great.
Getting
Not
you
the,
all
not the Industrial Revolution. You're talking about industrial music?
No, industrial music. Yeah, it was all because I watched that documentary about cyberpunk, and there was such a good soundtrack. They played so much Skinny Puppy on there. I was like, holy shit, this is great.
You ever been on Batman the Ride at Great America?
Absolutely, I have.
Is that like industrial music?
I don't remember.
I think when you're like in the line, walking through the line, there's they just play this really like cheesy, like.
Oh god, dude, I haven't been to Great America in so long.
Does it still suck?
Oh yeah, it sucked the last time I went.
Yes!
So it's like I don't want to go back, especially after
funny
going to
story.
like Cedar Point.
I have a funny story about Great America. It's
Jerry,
not Great
you
America anymore. It's Six Flags. What?
Are you you're super quiet right now? What happened?
super quiet right now.
What the fuck?
Where's my video off?
It's probably the stupid.
Are you streaming this on your channel, Jerry?
I'm not.
Huh?
I'm not.
Oh,
We have
okay.
quite a few We have 31 listeners on the live stream
Oh my
right now.
God, that's
So I don't even know what
awesome.
the hell.
How's this?
numbers-
It's better.
Oh, that
Yeah,
you
that's
sound
better.
beautiful now. There's those beautiful pipes.
Did you have peanut butter on your microphone?
Oh, you had to smear it off.
It was jizz.
How we doing, baby?
It's called Six Flags now. It's not Great America anymore.
Ah,
But the funny story is that I had a friend, Danny Bennett, who may or may not be listening. He's probably not listening, but I'll tell him he's mentioned in here and maybe he will listen. Anyway, after his bar mitzvah, we went to Great America for the party, like to hang out there. And it was, I forget what time of year it was, but there weren't a lot of people there. So it was late at night. The park wasn't going to close for hours. And you remember the tidal wave? For those
tidal
people
wave.
who don't, the
Yes.
tidal wave was a
wave
single, it was a single loop to loop. You do one loop, go up a track straight up, and back up through the loop to a halt. It was like a Hot Wheels track.
Yeah.
It was a great ride. We went on that like 30 times in a row because there was no one in line. And dude's like, "You guys want to stay on?" We're like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." A lot of the rides were like that. But if you remember the tidal wave, it's good times.
damn.
I wonder if they just have all kinds of hand sanitizer over there now.
1978. What?
Hand
I wonder if they
sanitizer?
just have all kinds of hand sanitizer at the theme parks, just like
I would
on
never
every-
touch that shit.
No, you want to do that, dude? Give me the germs. I don't want to sanitize that stuff. You're
I want
you're just
germs.
killing
That's
your immune
nasty.
system. Just killing.
Why do you think people are getting the flu?
Oh,
Right?
Because they're so hypersensitive to germs. Because
Oh, man.
they sanitize everything. You idiot.
yeah. Speaking of the flu, I just was reading a story today. I posted. Yeah, you guys, if people listening are in our Discord channel, you got to check it out. You can hit up the Twitter account, the Cruise Mistake. You can join there or join in on our website, cruisemistake.com. We all hang there every day. There's a huge group of people. It's awesome. And I posted an article today that I saw where a woman's son died of the flu, and then like these, I guess she got attacked, by anti-vaxxers.
And ostracized.
She got brutally attacked by anti-vaxxers. Was insane, dude. I was blown
What
away.
did she get
reading
attacked
it.
for? Did she get the flu shot or something, and it still happened, or like what was the? Why did the
Yeah,
anti-vaxxers go after her?
It's not long ago, a 4-year-old boy died of the flu. His mother, under doctor's orders, watched his 2 brothers like a hawk, terrified they might get sick and die too. Grieving and frightened just days after her son's death, she checked her Facebook page, hoping to read comfort comments and stuff from family and friends. Instead, found dozens of hateful comments. You're a terrible mother. You killed your child. You deserve what happened to your son. This is all fake. Your child doesn't exist. Holy crap.
Wow.
Bewildered and rattled, she closed her Facebook app. A few days later, she received a text message from someone named Ron. Expect more like this, Ron warned. Expect more.
This seems like a hit on anti-vaxxers.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a huge anti-vax narrative going on right now.
Yeah.
No, the narrative. They're shutting down the movie.
It's a tough one.
they aren't they labeling it as hate speech or something on Facebook now?
It's this left-wing, leftist, whatever you want to call it, censorship movement to get all opposing opinions or counter opinions out of the public eye,
right?
And basically banned. Like Alex Jones, look who's banned. Yeah. Look who's been silenced.
We're police, dude.
Now they're going after, fucking just Ben Shapiro and everybody. They're going after everybody. Tucker Carlson,
anti-Semitic white supremacist. Are you fucking kidding me? The dude wears a yarmulke on his show. He's an Orthodox Jew. I don't know. It's just really funny.
It's weird. It's like, it's sad what happened for sure. It's just like a woe is me article. It gets crazy. Yeah, like you were just saying, the attacks were from those who oppose vaccination. And this mother who lives in the Midwest doesn't want her name used for fear of attention that would only encourage more messaging. Interviews with the mother who have lost children and those who spy on anti-vaccination groups reveal a tactic employed by anti-vaxxers. When a child dies, members of the group sometimes encourage each other to go on that parent's Facebook page. The anti-vaxxers then post messages telling the parents that they're lying and that their children never existed and that their parent murdered them. Wow. Nothing is considered too cruel. Just days after their children died, mothers say anti-vaxxers on social media called them whores, the C word, and baby killers. It's a big attack on it for sure. Yeah, so the kid had the flu. He was 2 years old.
You don't give a 2-year-old a flu shot, by the way.
Yeah. Why would you? Yeah, I don't. I mean, he can.
The story is a lie. It's not what you're reading. It's not the real story.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can give a 2-year-old, an infant, a flu shot.
Yeah,
I don't know. Why would you? That's crazy.
I mean, somebody had the flu and he got the flu. Probably, I don't. It's just.
It's fucked up.
I'm not I
don't know. I got vaccinated.
I'm not a non-anti-vaxxer. I don't. You can do it the right way. I mean, I understand there's a lot more than there was. There's a lot more of everything than there was when Jerry was a kid, when I was a kid, when Grim was a kid. It's totally different. And then you could do it the right way. You don't have to do them all at once. You spread them out. That's all you got to do. Kid I
heard there's something like
to each his own though. I'm not the listener's parent. I'm my own parent.
Right. Every parent gets to make their own decisions.
Yeah, I'm happy for people to make their own decisions.
Yeah. So sure. I'm all about, it's horrible when you do hear things like that, and then it's horrible when things go wrong. I have my family friend that I grew up with, and when I was going to a babysitter when I was growing up, their daughter got vaccinated and got all fucked up from it. Mm-hmm. I mean, the rest of her life, she was okay when she was born. I don't know the whole crazy. But I know after she got vaccinated, things start. Yeah, she just slight Down syndrome. It's like a little mixture of things. But
my girlfriend just took antibiotics for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And her stomach is absolutely fucked since then.
Tore up. Yeah.
It destroys your biome.
Yeah.
The butt biome. Remember that show?
Butt biome. Yeah.
Biodome. I think Pauly Shore's mom died, by the way.
No. Oh yeah, Mitzi. Mitzi died pretty recently.
Yeah. So I don't know. I saw that article. I'm like, man, yeah, it was crazy. Then as you're reading it, man, yeah, you're like, this is just like anything else. It's an attack on yeah. So that's what I learned about that today. Which
you'd think about it. If you were an anti-vaxxer, why would you go give yourself bad press like that?
Right,
That is
go on somebody. Yeah, I know.
It doesn't seem right anyway.
And that,
Well, to me, it seems like there's these weaponized trolls that are calling themselves anti-vaxxers to attack this woman to make the anti-vaxxers look like they're monsters. That's what this story looks like to me.
Yeah,
hired to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anyone questioned them about the motives behind exactly what they're speaking about, they probably would go, "You suck! Get out of my way! You're ugly." In relation to this, there's a lot of censorship on Twitter and Facebook, right?
Shit's ramping up.
Well, no. Here's the problem. Florida introduced a bill to stop censorship on social media platforms above a certain size because they're public square and they need to accept all speech, not a subjective amount of speech, especially when it's anti-conservative bias.
But what's going on right now? Isn't Devin Nunes like suing Twitter and all this shit?
$250 million.
This is insane.
No, it's good. They need a slap in the face. They can't do this shit. Not just Twitter. It's all of them.
I got another story too. We all know Monsanto, right? Did you guys see this?
Isn't that Bear now?
Well, yeah. It's Jerry finds bears Roundup weed killer cause man's cancer.
Looks like we've known this shit for forever.
Well, now they're getting sued for it, like legitimately sued for it. Yeah,
I think it's us and like the Congo. That's the only two countries in the world who haven't banned glyphosate.
San Francisco, a jury found a man developed cancer from exposure to Roundup weed killer he used in his yard. Is the second case to go to trial over the alleged harms of a popular Bayer AG product. The 6-person jury in the U.S. District Court in San Fran now is set to begin the hearing evidence and separately weigh whether Monsanto's unit should be held reliable. A decision that could bring substantial financial damages to the company. So there's your Roundup.
Yeah. I worked up north and they would do sprayings of a lot of the crop up there. And if I was working anywhere near there, everyone had to leave. And for weeks, you had to be gone for a week.
Wow.
And that's like even in the area, in the vicinity. So it's just like, holy shit. It's toxic shit.
I looked up the etymology for the word vaccine.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh, okay.
And it comes from vaccinus, Latin for pertaining to a cow, because I think they originally had to vaccinate for cowpox. Pertaining to cow comes from vaca, so in Spanish, vaca means cow.
Huh.
What?
So cowpox. That's weird.
Cowpox.
Cowpox.
They were a thing, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
There you have it.
There you have it.
It's so weird.
I knew the VAC. I was like, I could imagine vaca in Spanish being cow and vaccine coming from that.
Interesting.
So I don't think we really need to address the Christchurch shooting situation.
Oh man, yeah.
That's
I did like one point that Adam Curry brought up on the agenda about it.
And that's the thing, man. If like we're I don't know, but listen to that No Agenda episode, the last one. Let's see what number.
Yeah, he'll explain it. But the main thing I took away from it was the whole streaming of it on Facebook and shit, and then it got out on Twitter. So this whole thing went live, dude. Like, and it was made for kids to watch. It was a first-person shooter in real life. It was ridiculous, dude. I saw actually scrolling through some shit on Twitter. I came across it.
Did any of you actually see the video?
Yeah, I saw.
Dude, I didn't watch it.
It looked like a first-person shooter. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was insane. The guy had like a GoPro on his head, basically, and his whatever. It was probably, I think it was like an AR-15. I would have, it looked like one. And it had a bunch of writing all over it. I don't know. You could see the writing all over it. And then, yeah, you just see a first person shooter. It's like looking right down at his gun, and yeah, it was weird. It wasn't like the thing I watched. I don't know if there was more of it. I didn't want to watch a lot. I just watched like a couple. I watched probably 10 seconds of it. And it was kind of crazy, dude. Yeah, there was already people mowed down and he would just keep popping off rounds randomly at the people that were already down. It was whack, dude. Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't know. Like I was just scrolling and it caught my eye. I think just because we do this and I just stopped for a second, and I'm like, wow, holy F. And then, yeah, I was thinking the same thing as like Adam Curry said. It's just to put it out there, right? Like to show these people, show young people, like.
Well, and that's the thing, man. With how everything's so connected right now. Like they predicted this shit years ago. That like how long before a shooting is streamed like this online? Like, but that's. But just between that manifesto and shit, man, like, and then I see all these people on Twitter saying like Trump's the reason this happened. Trump incited by, and dude, in his manifesto, he specifically says like, no, this has nothing. Like, he didn't even mention Trump. Like, it's, dude, like No Agenda breaks it down perfectly. Adam read the entire manifesto. He broke the entire thing down. Like, it was It's just fucked up. And everything that's happening right now is exactly what he wanted. That's what's the disgusting part.
Yep.
Like he wanted to just accelerate this division in the fucking world. And it's happening. And they're just going to run with the deplatforming of everybody. Censorship galore. Here's our 1984, fucking white nationalists.
It's insane. That's some gnarly stuff. But thoughts and prayers. But that's a heavy situation, dude. I mean, again, like every few months, but now like a lot of people saw that shit, dude. It was like whenever it was a year or two ago, they were the first guy that it was gonna happen eventually. There was the other guy that streamed the shooting on Facebook. He got I don't know. I think he ended up getting busted too, but.
What the fuck's an eco-fascist? They're talking in the chats right now. What is that?
An eco-fascist?
Yeah, he claims to be an eco-fascist. He claimed that his ideals align closest with China. So I don't even know.
Okay. I know he.
Oh, it means go green or die. Anankun is saying.
Go green or die.
Go green or die. That's an eco-fascist. All right. So that's
he's all about the Green New Deal then, right?
Yeah.
Fuck the cows and bring on solar airplanes and more train travel.
So would this give him more social credits or less?
Ooh, yeah. What would that get his score up to? Dude, that's crazy.
Well, he's go green, but he killed he killed POCs, so that loses points.
Yeah.
In my studio here, I have a little cactus and a little succulent. What's my score?
You're through the roof.
Nice.
Felix, your score is you're a 10 out of 10 in my book, buddy.
Thanks.
Nice.
So they're like PETA with guns.
PETA with guns, yeah. He was like, I don't mind if he had a couple weird.
It's just fucked up.
I don't know. Yeah.
And why New Zealand?
I don't know.
I mean, New Zealand's part of Five Eyes. So it's like they have the whole CIA spy connection going on there.
Yeah. They do, definitely. It's all intertwined.
Five Eyes, burgers and fries?
Five Eyes, exactly.
Dude, you get that. You ever get the hot dog there? It's so good. It's so good.
I see what you did there. Pizzagate code.
Yeah, I like the hot dogs.
Oh, fuck.
I'll have the hot dog and the fries.
So Politico is coming out. I saw on Twitter today, Politico posted a whole article about QAnon. And it's just like, why? Like, in the same breath, they give these guys an entire platform, explain their entire conspiracy, and then they're just like, yes, but they're kind of crazy. But it's like, why are you even going to give them a platform? It's all these psyops going on. They want these people to believe this shit. Here, maybe you could pick this team. Maybe you could pick this team. They want people to pick sides. They want this division. Fuck them. Do what you want. I've been watching fucking anime all day and listening to weird ass 80s industrial music.
Nice.
Fuck you guys.
The worst part is it's a small amount of people.
Yeah, it really is, dude.
And
I know.
it's just that the media is mostly them.
Yeah, it's. I just saw like a rating thing, and like, it's. I don't know. There's so many. There's more hits on a kid's unboxing video than like the top news station.
Well,
like,
what's dude?
it's insane.
I see Cliff High going on about all this shit right now about how YouTube is censoring all this stuff. Like his Twitter feed was all about it. Like they're picking all this shit out. Like your stuff is shadow banned. Basically, if you talk about anything conspiracy, anything related at all, and also the fucking Christchurch shooting, that OBDM, they just did that show on Saturday. It's getting flagged as like hate speech. What was it? Yeah, or some shit. I got to go back to the
white
channel.
Nationalist. It doesn't matter. Because the New Zealand government has banned anyone from playing it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or no,
Yeah.
here, what does it say? It says certain features have been disabled for this video. They got on that, and it says viewer discretion is advised. Following content has been identified in YouTube community as inappropriate or offensive to some audiences because it's labeled the Christchurch shooting. It's just fucked up, man. But
Vinny Eastwood did like a play-by-play on it with Ole Damagard.
Yeah, I heard a bit of that.
I think it was him.
this shit needs to be talked about. Like that was the first thing
what
that
needs
they
to be talked about is the Wi-Fi coverage in that mosque.
Oh yeah,
That stream sucked.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah. I got a couple things I could share that are a little more
sure. Let's change
All
it
right,
up.
yeah, let's get off that shit. That's fucked up. Thoughts and prayers, whatever. Blah blah blah. I'm heartless, probably. Go ahead, Felix. I love you.
There was a fortune cookie that we had just floating around here that we had Chinese food a week ago, and I just cracked it open. And have you guys ever heard that you have to eat the fortune cookie before you read your fortune?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You have to finish it off, otherwise the fortune won't come true.
Yeah, you can't look at it. You have to actually like chew it, digest
That's what
it.
she said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, chew it.
And
Kinky.
this fortune wasn't that good, and there was a grammatical typo, and it said something like, "It seems like you've been spending too much time spending, comma," and that was it.
That's it.
Make up your own, eh?
Yeah, it was comma. Yeah, you can like just pencil something in if you want to add to it. But I haven't really been spending that much, so it wasn't true. It's not really like a fortune.
So, what's the origin of fortune cookies, Felix? You got these? When did they start? Are they just a gimmick to make people buy more Chinese food?
I have no idea.
Last time I got one, it was blank.
You got a blank fortune?
I got a blank fortune.
That's amazing. That means you can just write your future.
It was actually pretty cool, yeah.
Ugh.
Or nothing in it would be.
I have had nothing as well.
Yeah.
I opened it up and there was nothing in it.
Man,
Both.
never had that. I need those lucky numbers.
And then I have a dream.
You had a dream?
I had a dream.
Cool.
And I think it was influenced by the Muppets thing that we mentioned last week, or the Muppet thing I mentioned last week. So my wife wanted to show me this Budweiser commercial, and she's like, "Oh, check out this," and this is in the dream. "Look at this Budweiser commercial. It's 11 minutes long." And I go, I don't want to watch an 11-minute Budweiser commercial.
Yeah, that's insane.
But there was like a concert hall, and it started being the point of view of me in the commercial. So there was that part to kind of bring you into the dream. And then I was outside of a concert hall, and it was late, and they had these curtains drawn, but you could see through the curtains. And I'm looking in there, and I'm like, "What's going on in there?" And I ended up getting in somehow, and there was a band of kind of small people, and they were playing like Latin jazz, and the whole entire audience was Muppets and they were all wearing ponchos, and all the Muppets
Weird.
yeah, and it never happened, but I imagine they had the ponchos on because it was like a Gallagher performance where, he smashes the fruit.
Yeah, the watermelon. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I had a sense in the dream that it was going to be like a splatter paint kind of thing, like the band, the jazz band was going to be squirting paint on the Muppets.
Yeah.
Such a great splat.
And then after that, I morphed into our kitchen here, and all of a sudden I was just standing in the kitchen, and I kept seeing these Reese's peanut butter cups falling off the counter. And there's Reese's peanut butter cups hitting the ground, and I'm going, Where are these Reese's peanut butter cups coming from?
That's so weird.
And I started thinking there's a mouse in the house. And I look up on the countertop, and there's this little kind of tchotchke little tree tchotchke, or just kind of a little sculpture of a tree. And there was this rat just hanging in the tree. And as I'm looking at it, it was trying to play dead, and like it wasn't like it was pretending like it wasn't a rat. And then it morphed into a wolf, or like a little what the fuck?
There it is.
Like one of those Siberian, or is it Siberian wolves? Like the
husky?
Siberian husky?
Yeah, husky. Yeah. Like a sled dog. Like a puppy.
Nice.
And that was about it.
That's an amazing dream.
That's pretty sweet.
I was just telling my wife last night, I got to start getting the dream journal. We're starting getting weird again, I think.
This is why I didn't write it down or anything. I just, when I woke up and about 30 minutes later in my day, I was like, okay, I got to start just rephrasing some of the stuff that was going on in my dream. So I whispered it to myself. I go, Latin jazz band, Muppets with ponchos, small people, Reese's peanut butter cups, rat.
You got to take notes. Yeah.
Husky. And that's all you need
to like piece it together. Yeah.
Yeah. But then here's the thing: you start feeling, and I think you start making up things as you go. You go, I think that happened, and this happened.
Right.
I stuck to the original feeling of the dream.
Did the Muppets look back at you, or they were just sitting facing the band?
They were just facing the band.
Oh, that's
good. I saw like one little panning of. I was more concentrating on the band because there was the guy, the lead singer. And
were you a Muppet as well?
Was Rolf there? Was Rolf in there at all?
I was kind of
the Cookie Monster.
I was at like the front of the stage. I might have been on the stage too, and I kept looking kind of back and forth between, I think, the Muppet crowd and the small people Latin jazz band.
Have you guys seen that video of the Cookie Monster versus Power Rangers? My friend just showed me the other day.
No, but it sounds amazing.
It's pretty terrifying. The Cookie Monster just tears him a new one.
Wow.
You'll have to watch it. Check it out.
I don't know. I haven't really listened or watched any YouTube stuff. I don't really go on YouTube that much. And listening to, I don't know what, so Grim was listening to some stuff a little bit ago. I haven't really listened to music in a while, except only when Felix jams. That's about it.
I feel bad for you.
I'm not into like whatever's out at all right now.
No, man. That's why you don't look at whatever's out. Just go back to the things that hit you in the soul. The things that feel good.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do.
For me,
like that Brian Eno song that Jerry shared on fucking Twitter the other day. This is some good shit.
Yeah. I am the crow of desperation.
For me, I've been mixing my album, and you really got to pull yourself out of your own music and listen to other stuff. So
I get it. Yeah, I know.
I get a good reference on these speakers of what like good music sounds like on these speakers. So
nice pull.
I was listening to a lot of Talking Heads in the past. Some Talking Heads and other
Talking Heads.
Dude, that's a great influence. Like there's so much of that good stuff back then, man. Now it's just totally obviously it's different. Yeah. So
What's is it Alan Parsons? I think I put that in the
Alan
chat.
Parsons.
The Alan Parsons Project.
Wouldn't want to be like
Awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be like he's great.
The Chicago Bulls song.
fucking Eye in the Sky.
Yeah, Eye in the Sky. Sweet.
That's a good
all of Alan Parsons. You should go back and look at Alan Parsons' album releases. It's like I forget they're all
I, Robot. Eye in the Sky.
Before that,
Eve. What was it? Eve something.
I don't remember now.
But those are mixed really well. Like if you
it's all
listen to them on
Egyptian magic stuff. Sorry,
if you listen to them on good speakers,
yeah,
just like the soundscapes really just like crisp. There's so much dynamics and
my
Alan Parsons mixed Dark Side of the Moon.
Big
Floyd. Oh wow,
produced it. Yeah,
that's why it sounds so damn good. Then.
Yep.
Tale of Mystery and Imagination's a sweet one too.
What is it?
Tale of Mystery and Imagination. That's one of their albums. It's like a concept album. I think it went with a play.
Was it a project or was it like were they an actual band?
Well, they had so many different people play for them. It was Alan Parsons, and then there was some regulars, but they had new people all the time. So it was a project, but they had like their regulars too. So
what's that blue marker you got there for?
Oh,
it's kind of like Cruising with Steak.
I was writing some stuff. Yeah,
it's a Cruising with Steak project.
Yeah, it is like a Cruising with Steak.
Alan Parsons. Booty Rooter says Alan Parsons was a studio engineer who went into music. Yeah.
Engineer gone musician.
I like his name.
We'll do it.
It's a good solid name.
Kate, all you guys, what about Rick Rubin? Rick Rubin's a good producer too.
Like Beastie Boys.
Oh my God, yeah, dude. I was just gonna say, I was like the ultimate freaking Beastie Boys, dude. So yeah, that was a good label. Yeah. But yeah, man, that there's a band that'll get me every time right there. Fucking Beastie Boys, dude.
I'm a little late on the train, but I started watching that Hellier docuseries.
Oh yeah,
finally watched it.
It's good, dude. It's kind of interesting. Yeah,
I haven't gotten all of it.
Yeah,
some of it. But I did watch after listening to the most kind of recent Grimerica with the guy about what was his name? He does like the monster documentary.
Seth Breedlove.
Yeah,
His Small Town Monsters are some good, dude, highly produced movies.
They're on Amazon right now. You can check those out.
The Beast. I watched The Beast of Bray Road because Elkhorn, Wisconsin is about 15 minutes from my hometown. And it's like 3 towns over from where I'm from.
So you're gonna go to Bray Road and give us some? No, come on, man, go check it out. Give us some field reports, boots on the ground.
I'm not looking for Wolfman, Dogman.
Come on,
monster. Not getting into that, huh?
No, they make it real spooky in
real spooky. Yeah,
they do a little animations and reenactments of just these like foreboding, shadowy creatures with red eyes in the ditches at night, and
it's scary.
Yeah. But I know, like when they show pictures of the downtown of it, I know the look of that. It's like a one street kind of town, and Bray Road's just a country road. And it was like in the 90s when a number of people might be late 80s, early 90s, saw the Dog Man and reported it, and there was also some satanic cult kind of stuff going on in the backwoods. This is random. Did anyone watch that? What was it, Portersville or Portertown movie? Or what was it called?
Pottersville?
No, was it Pottersville?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just throwing words out.
Is that another Small Town Monsters one?
No, that's like the Bigfoot one, the Christmas movie that I mentioned.
No, I remember you mentioning that, but no, I never watched it. I think Bill Anderson watched it and he said it was good.
You gotta watch it because the guy Odin from American Gods is in that, and he's kind of a quirky
Odin. We're not gonna talk. He's not the actual god Odin. The Odin from American Gods.
No, he's better.
Plays Odin in American Gods, and he's in that Pottersville. And I mentioned that because there's some sort of these little meetings that go on in the woods, and I don't want to give it away because if I give it away, it'll ruin it. But go see it.
Ian McShane is amazing, an actor. Have you seen Deadwood? Swedgen?
Deadwood. What's that on?
San Francisco cocksucker. No? Oh, man. Oh, my God. It's so good.
I heard
Deadwood, it's like...
oh, that's his name. That's Odin?
Yeah, Ian McShane.
Ian McShane. Yeah, he plays Swedgen. Just like a... this town, Deadwood, where there was a huge gold rush. There was no law there. It's actually mostly, I think it was like 95% of the story is actual history. And then they made up a few characters. But
yeah,
it goes to the town of Deadwood, and just when law was starting to come into Deadwood, because it was still Indian land or native land. So they went in and basically had this gold rush, and people were just getting rich and making brothels, and there was no law, and it was just a cool time in this town. But it's a great series.
What if that's all bullshit? That whole gold rush story.
Could be.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like the story though.
Yeah, it doesn't suck.
Do you feel like that Ian McShane guy's a knockoff of Al Pacino?
Oh, you get that vibe a little bit.
I get like an Al Pacino vibe off him. It could be like just like the look of his face and his hair, and sort of the mannerisms.
Maybe he stands out quite a bit in this series, Deadwood, and I wouldn't make that that comparison after seeing that series, but watching him in other stuff a little bit, I see where you're coming from.
I like him a lot. He makes that show pretty, or American Gods. He makes it a pretty fun show to watch.
Yeah, dude, he's got some acting chops for sure. Would you guys get any cybernetic implants if you could, if they were available? Go full on cyberpunk.
Cybernetic implant.
Maybe something that would prevent like little stupid colds.
I watched a documentary today on cyberpunk, so I'm gonna drop the link in the chats right now. It's on YouTube. It's about William Gibson. Well, I mean, he's kind of one of the main characters in it because he wrote all these books back in the 80s.
I met him once.
You met William Gibson?
I did.
But this documentary is it fucking cracks me up with the graphics and shit.
This cracks me up. Booty River is like K-Dog's getting a cyber liver.
A cyber liver? He probably needs one.
That was good. Yeah.
But dude, shit's they had Timothy Leary in this documentary, and he's talking, and he's like, this is back in 1990. And he's like, yeah, in the future, they found they have these microchips right now where, you could put like 1 billion neurotransistors on them, or transistors. And he's going on about how like the inner city kid is going to have, the technology of supercomputers in their pockets for like $3. And it's like, we have the super, but dude, he just grossly underestimated the price of this stuff
of an iPhone.
But he was predicting the technology and shit.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool to get that shit, but then how do you know it's not going to be controlled? There's backdoors and everything that we have, right?
That's why you need to become the hackers. That's what cyberpunks are all about. Be one step ahead.
Make your own shit.
Get on the ground floor of it.
Yeah, I've been watching the newest season of Arrow, and Felicity, she's like the Overwatch, like Oliver's, wife, basically. Yeah, they're married, but so I mean, she's just a hacker, and that's her like go-to, and now they're doing this like future version, alternate universe of it, and like where she owned a company instead of the Palmer Tech shit, but and man, it's pretty crazy. It's all about the hacking and stuff, and her love for hacking. It's crazy. Like that was her main gig. But yeah, back to the hacking. I don't know. Yeah, it would be cool to get like, man.
Well, just interesting, man.
Like a digital eye or something, dude. Something kick ass like that.
Well, all these kids like back in the 90s that were hacking all this shit and like getting to this ground level stuff, like they were like 14, 15 years old. So every single one of these kids got drafted right into the government. Like the way that I see it, like every time, like, okay, we're gonna, what kind of negotiation? You're gonna work for us now. Like, it's insane. You guys remember that movie Hackers? Back in the day, that was a great movie.
Was Devin Sawa on that?
And Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie was in it.
They spray painted your camouflage.
Yeah, man. Hack the Gibson, baby. Fucking Zero Cool and Crash Override.
Do you remember Sneakers?
Which one, Jer?
Sneakers.
Sneakers? No, I never saw Sneakers.
It's extra bad.
There was
super bad.
I can't remember.
Now I'm trying to think of all the hacker movies that I've seen.
Oh man, Jesus. I mean, there was
What about you ever seen Blank Check?
God, Blank Check's great, man. Mr. Macintosh, give me that $1 million bucks.
Would you consider him a hacker?
Totally.
What do you call it? An abortion in Prague.
What do you call it, Jer?
A pregnancy?
A canceled check.
Oh, because they're checks.
not a pregnancy.
But I know I got one of those fucking somewhere. There it is. We run a professional operation around here.
I got bad jokes bubbling to the top tonight. I don't know why.
Would you consider War Games
the lamest movie ever? Yeah.
War Games? Do you want to play a game?
Is that the Matthew
Fred Savage
one?
No, Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Fred Savage was the Wiz.
And Ali Sheedy.
The Wizard. Remember the Wizard?
Yeah, dude, the Wizard, where he went to the Nintendo competition.
Nobody keep your power gloves off her.
So badass.
That's such a great movie.
I liked the War Games.
Yeah. Oh man, the power. You ever see the Power Glove? And they played. What was it like? That race car game? Was it Rad Racer? I think.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah. Like you could drive it like a steering wheel, hold your hand out like this, and drive it with the steering wheel. That game was crazy. Yeah, and then they go to the tournament and then they bust out Mario World. I think it was.
Yeah. So awesome.
There was a show. I think it was in that Dimension 404 series.
I tried watching some of that.
The last, I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe it wasn't. It was one of those anthologies. Had one episode, one story called Impulse, and it was about video gamers. And in order to get an edge on the other players, somebody had come up with this drug that basically put them into super hyper focus mode, where they can act, superhuman.
Yeah,
but it put them into autopilot. Depending on the strength of the dose and how much they take, it puts them into autopilot for some time into the future, like from days to years.
Yeah. Damn.
And it's funny because so many people take it in the show that the society collapses and people are starting to wake up, and it's like 20 years later and they have kids and society's broken down. It's really interesting.
That's cool. I watched Brainstorm the other night. I think
Brainstorm.
Yeah, 2 nights ago.
What's
on
Christopher Walken?
Yeah, Walken.
Yeah.
It's a movie where these scientists create something that goes on your head and reads all the impulses from your brain and records them, so you can put it on,
records the
and play back the experience of someone else.
Like sex.
It could be anything.
It's fully linked to your body, so you feel what they feel.
Like VR, basically, but
it's like that movie Strange Days.
Yeah, exactly, like Strange Days, if you've seen it.
But that was in it was in the early 80s or something like that.
81 or 2, yeah.
And it's totally soft disclosure, like, hey, we got this technology now.
Oh, totally. Now they've come out telling us that they can. Do you know that experiment where they had a bunch of faces and they put on this biofeedback device, and it was able to recreate the faces that you saw. So the computer would,
in your dreams?
take just normally. So,
and that's civilian science,
right? Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
It was, so if I looked at a picture of a human face, the computer would be able to recreate that face.
Right. They've got actually full images now that they can pull out. It's not just faces.
This was just a demonstration, but
10 seconds later, 1 second later.
I don't know how long it takes to compute. It's just a matter of computing power, right?
And Google says they're trying to read your mind. Or was it Facebook?
Did anyone ever hear of this one? There's a movie called The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, 1969 film.
I think I've heard of that.
It says here, I think Kurt Russell's in it. It says, at Medfield College, an accident with a donated computer gives Dexter Riley the ability to remember any knowledge learned instantly and perfectly.
That's a Disney flick.
Yeah, it says it's a Disney movie.
I love Kurt Russell Disney movies. They're the best. It's like the strongest man in the world. And
the catchphrase on the movie box here says, program for laughs.
All those old Disney movies that are like from Medford College and like Flubber, The Absent-Minded Professor, those are really good movies. And they're horribly sexist these days, which is even better.
It's a happy movie.
I watched some scenes from Airplane the other day, and holy shit!
I know. Do you see how
that movie came out? Oh my god! Now
I know this was something I thought of today. I was watching. I forget what it was, but it was something that was recent, like maybe 5 years old. And I'm like, oh man, this would get taken out of theaters, today with all the nuttiness going on. And it's like, wow, we've been so conditioned, by the screeching, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. We need to rebel.
I got another show to talk about that I it's amazing for one, but it's on Netflix.
My Little Ponies.
Is that new one?
It's called dude. It's called Death, Love, and Robots, and it's so fucking good, dude. It's animated, but they also do. So it's 18 episodes, and the episodes are like they range from like 5 to 17 minutes. So some are like 8 minutes, 11 minutes, or whatever, and it's from all different
5 to 17.
What's that?
Gotcha. 5 to 17. Gotcha.
Yeah, 5 to 17.
Minutos?
5 to 17. Yep. Yeah. So basically, they're all one-off episodes. Some are kind of resemble each other, but they're animated, and some are live action animated. It's really crazy. One of the coolest. Like you can watch them pretty quickly. I've made it through about half of them so far, but so I can't talk about all of them. But I mean, I'll give you an idea. It's the epitome of cool and ambitious, dazzling, fucked up fever dream that hops between genres, animated styles to deliver an all-you-can-eat buffet of weirdness from sentient yogurt, which is a great episode, to ghost fish, to a alternative history with gleefully remains that kind of like remains like if Hitler could, many ways Hitler could have died. Yeah, it's kind of like that other show on
Hitler, baby.
Man in a High Castle. Yeah.
Would you kill baby Hitler?
Yeah, would you? That's tough. You kill a
train
baby? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a murderer, so
Say Death, Love, and Robots.
Death, Love, and Robots. It's so they I was just reading some stuff, but yeah, they compare it to Heavy Metal, Liquid Television, and Adult Swim. So that's the style.
Would you say it's irreverent?
Liquid Television. That shit was great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you about one of the ones I really got a kick out of was the second episode, and there's like there's 3 robots. One looks like one of the robots from iRobot with Will Smith, and then there's a little robot dude. Like he's just a little kid. He looks like he has a baseball hat, and then there's like this pyramid that walks around, and what they do is like Earth has just been destructed due to what we fucked up our own planet and it died basically. So the whole planet's like trash, and these robots just go touring cities like tourists. Like you're just checking them all out, and they come up into this town, and a cat comes out of nowhere, and you're like, what the hell is this random cat? And then and it's just funny because like the cat jumps on the one robot's lap, and then the other one's like, don't move, and he's like, if you stop, don't move. And then it looked at him, he's like, you're supposed to pet it. I think if you rub its its fur in a reverse direction or something like, he's explaining how to pet the cat. Then the robot starts petting. He's like, oh my God, it's like vibrating or something, yeah, he starts going off and he's like, don't stop. He's like, what happens? When I read that, it explodes. Like the cats explode. It's just whack, dude. And so this robot follows him around everywhere, and the cat follows the robots around, and then they end up in a giant warehouse full of cats. It's pretty messed up. I thought it was great though. It made me laugh a lot. I got Love, Death, and Robots. That's great.
Did you watch it with your kids?
No, that you cannot watch this with kids at all. High edit. I mean, there's so much. There's nudity, there's crazy shit, dude. It's an insane show. Yeah.
Is it seizure inducing?
Some of them are very vibrant, colored, flashy. Yes, I definitely would. Say
like
so.
Incredibles 2, seizure inducing.
Yeah, inducing. Yeah. I mean, so I highly recommend it. We're all into this stuff, so it's right up everyone's alley, dude. Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's great. But I don't know if you guys want to. I don't know. We were talking earlier today in the chat about maybe talking about more travelers. The time travel shit, man.
Yeah. I last week I wanted to mention, I never mentioned it. We did the whole time travel thing.
Yeah.
But I've seen that the Back to the Future trilogy like a zillion times.
Yeah.
And I have a connection to it a little because he goes back to the year 1955.
Yeah.
And my mom was born in 1955.
Oh, okay.
And I was born in 1985, so I always have that weird connection.
I was born in 1985 too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
And the fact, I'm pretty sure he goes back to October. He might go back to my mom's birthday, maybe. No, he goes to October 15th, maybe. If it was the 25th.
I think it's the 15th.
Yep, 10-15.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's not my mom's official birthday, but I'm always reminded.
Her unofficial birthday.
Yeah. and I just like to bring that, or I wanted to bring that up because I'm really big into that movie. Big.
That's cool. That was a great series, or a great trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those ones where you can watch it again and again and it never gets.
I'm glad they haven't made like a fourth one or something. They haven't tried to reboot into disaster.
Yeah, that'd be bad. It'd be bad.
Just don't touch it. Leave it as is.
Mm.
Yeah. They broke Indiana Jones.
Do you remember the lead up to the year 2015 where we were?
I remember the 2012 stuff.
No, when we were getting in Back to the Future, he goes to the year 2015.
Oh, yeah.
Was it 15? It was 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like years before that, people were making like fake memes about this is the year that Marty McFly went to the future.
Yeah, man. Then Nike said that they were gonna have shoes and shit. They couldn't do it. Self-lacing shoes.
I saw one on actually it was on a YouTube. It was that shit. Sorry, I can't remember the guy's name.
Damn hoverboard, man. Just give me that fucking hoverboard.
And the adjustable sleeves. That was
it'd be sweet.
The jacket, yeah.
Auto dry on. Or just something like that.
They have the hydrator oven where they just chuck a little pizza in there. It comes out a full large pizza.
What was that hanging thing?
It was the fruit basket. Like, yeah, it was like fruit or it was like vegetables that come down from the ceiling. Yeah, it was like a hydroponic like thing.
Yeah, right.
Hydroponic garden in your kitchen. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
We wanted to talk more about time travel.
I don't know. I mean, it was brought up earlier, but I looked a couple things up. I was just looking at cool things we could riff off of, like that. Some of the ideas of more time travel and timelines and things like that. Because that the main show I'm watching right now is that Legends, and that's all time travel, and how changing the past and not in. And then you watch other shows and how they dealt with time travel, and some you can fight yourself, some you can't touch yourself. It's weird, like, or you can't be in the same area at the same time. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to alter the timeline. Like in Legends, they can travel. If you made the wrong suggestion, like the one of the guys talked to himself and suggested that he spent more time with his wife or whatever, and so then they had this weird this thing happen to where it changed the future, where he ends up having a daughter that and then but it was kind of weird at the same time. He started. He's like, my head's hurt. He starts getting these flashes of a person, and then it ends up, that's his. And he meets her. It's like that's his daughter.
And it's
these memories are being like poured into his head over like a period of time, which is pretty crazy. So like it affects even you in the current state of meeting self. Like it's so weird. Like
you ever see that there's a movie about like a multiverse, I think it was Jet Li, it was called One, where he goes there's multiverses with himself in them, and he goes to kill all of his other selves because he gains more power. It's like a Highlander
holy crap
esque multi-dimensional movie. It was kind of sweet, I think. Remember it being a sweet
I remember the movie. I've never seen it though. So it's pretty cool to think like about being able to. I mean, they're traveling all over the place. It's just I'd have to explain the whole damn show, which is crazy. But I mean,
you just did.
No, not even close. I mean, they travel. I mean, one of them ended up putting into 64 million years. The dinosaur era. One got put. They got put all over the place, and they have to go fix all these things, and it's just crazy because one of the characters from the Flash is in it, and he's an evil guy, and they're trying to get the spear of destiny that got jammed in the side of Christ.
They're always going for that spear of destiny.
Yep. And it got broken up into 3 timelines.
It was like 6 pieces. It was in Horcruxes.
Yeah, they were in Hork. Yeah, it's a cool show. I mean,
it's a very cool show.
It gets some of it's cheesy. It's a CW show, man, but the idea of time travel in it is awesome.
It's a soap opera adapted to a sci-fi show. There are several subplots with each character, one of which is real interesting with Mick. And next season they're going to be doing more magic because Constantine's on the show full time.
Oh, he's in it now?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is called Travelers?
Yeah. No. It's called The Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, Legends of Tomorrow.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. You can start it on there.
The only thing that pisses me off about that show.
Sponsored by Netflix, I sort of.
No, we just have an arrangement with CW. But,
yeah, we should have an arrangement with them, which would be great. You can get all their actors on and stuff.
The problem I have, like, you've been watching The Flash, right?
Yeah, I've watched many of The Flash. Yeah.
So you know how he goes back in time and then he stays in that changed timeline and then
he
decides to go back
because he wants to be with his mom, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
And he fucks up his own timeline.
Yep.
But he really forks into a third one, whatever. But in DC Legends of Tomorrow, they only have one timeline, and it gets fucked up, and they fix it, and it goes back to normal.
Yeah.
There's none of that forkery, if you will.
Forkery, yeah. Forking off.
Forkery foot.
That's kind of a disconnect, but yeah, I like it.
I was thinking the Netflix Cruising with Steak slogan could be Netflix and Cruise.
Oh yeah, okay.
That kind of cuts Grim out of the whole.
Reviews?
That's all right. I don't need to be associated with Netflix.
Netflix and steak.
I don't know. Oh. It seems like all the CW shows have a little bit of time travel in them, and there's a lot of time travel stuff going on in other pop culture. It just seems to be a buzz thing.
Yeah. So, and I got 10 facts that show why I love a fact of. Listicle, dude. I got 10 facts that show why time travelers may have already been among us, and you'll get an idea of what's going on. So Charlie Chatton's movie Cell Phone, January 6, 1928. So there's a DVD extras of Charlie Chaplin's The Circus. People were given
a cell phone in the background.
Yes, yeah. They were getting access to short film and photos of the movie's premiere at Grumman's Chinese Theater in 1928. Actually, when I got married in Vegas, we drove to LA. That was that's the only time I've ever been to California, and we stayed right down at the Roosevelt Hotel where Marilyn Monroe died, which is right down the road from this theater.
Where she was murdered. You mean
murdered? Yes. Murdered.
Probably.
Wasn't she a CIA operative too? Right? Remember that? Remember the Q stuff was all about Marilyn Monroe.
Dude, who knows, man? I don't know.
I remember that.
I'm pretty sure the Kennedys killed her, though.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, definitely. So, in which appears seemingly in which appears a person seemingly talking on a cell phone has convinced many people that time travel is as real as there were no cell phones in 1928. Yes. Number two, compact disc case in the 1800s. A painting from the 1800s show a man holding what looks like a fancy CD box. The earliest from plastic wasn't invented until the mid 1800s. Compact discs weren't used until the 1980s. A time traveler? Hit and run victim from the past. In mid-June 1950, a man in his early 30s named Rudolph Fens was wearing 19th century clothes when he was hit and killed by a person in Times Square. A subsequent investigation by NYPD policemen revealed that the man had disappeared without a trace in 1876 in the age of 29. Items on his possession were a copper token for a beer, a bill for the care of a horse, and the washing and the washing of a carriage, a letter from 1876, $70, and a business card, all without any signs of aging, pointing that the man had traveled through from 1876 to 1950 directly, right in Times Square. Isn't that where all the people like come out in the they time travel, end up in the Big Apple right there, right in that intersection. Except Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's time travel in that movie. All the Terminator stuff.
Oh yeah,
there are tons of it in that. Especially when you get into the newer ones, man. They're all over the place. And
it's centered around time travel.
Yeah. Oh, the whole thing is we got to stop the future. Yeah, like. It's crazy. We got to kill, the main dude,
Sean Connor.
Sean Connor, yes, yeah. John Connor.
John, yeah,
John, yeah.
John Connor.
Nobody succeeds. Think about it.
It's still going, right? Yeah, probably you're making more of them. Yeah.
I just mean
Skynet.
Whenever people change the timeline,
they change it, yeah, and then something changes, and that's the main thing with with in the Legends show, like the future has a way of repairing itself to get to that outcome. Like but it's
like
there are these weird instances where, like the guy ends up having a daughter. Like there are these weird parts like that, but like they always say, like you can't mess with that stuff. Yeah. To mess up, it'll mess up the future. So, but anyway, so the Montauk Project conspiracy. Yeah. Montauk Air Force Base repeatedly has an interdimensional tunnel in its subterranean laboratory that allowed scientists to travel back to 1943. This conspiracy circulated with two men, the author Preston Nichols and Al Bielek. Oh, I remember those two guys. Yeah. In the 1980s, when they had begun to recover repressed memories of working in the lab. Time traveling hipster. Yeah. Photograph 1941. And
he looks like he's from the 60s.
Yeah. Well, so 1941, Goldbridge in Canada was alleged to show a time traveler. His it was claimed that his clothes had a logo printed T-shirt, sunglasses, and holding a portable camera were modern and none of the styles from the 40s. Over the years, he was known as the traveling hipster. And we talked about the Philadelphia experience, the experiment with the ship getting the Eldridge, rendered invisible to enemy devices and teleported from Pennsylvania to Virginia. Yeah, so
it would suck to be stuck in a wall, eh?
Yeah, they reported allegedly that the warship traveled back in time for 10 seconds. For 10 seconds. However, popular culture has represented for bigger time jumps. Yes. Let's see. And when I got another one, evidence of a time traveling Chinese tomb.
Right about
December 2008, Chinese archaeologists allegedly removed the opening of a giant coffin with what was believed an undisturbed 400-year-old Sea Queen tomb in Shanghai country. Yeah. As they removed the soil around the coffin, however, they were shocked and amazed to find a small piece of metal shaped like a watch with the time frozen at 10:06. Swiss was engraved on the back. If the tomb was undisturbed for 400 years, what could explain the existence of this modern artifact? An absent-minded time traveler? Bleh. All right, so there's my time travel stories. My listicle.
Cool.
But
Time travel listicle.
That's what I got for there. I mean, we can go on. No,
You guys, did I ever tell you guys? Oh, you want to go on?
no, go ahead.
Did you guys ever hear about the $1 million sweepstakes, McDonald's sweepstakes in the 80s, late 80s?
No.
Well,
Did we talk about this?
well
Not the-
weren't
not
those
the
the things you
Monopoly
peel off the cups?
No, they're like called flexi discs, so they're basically records on.
Oh no,
They're on Happy Meals. They're on the bags of the meals you got. And the whole gimmick is if you put the record on and they sing the menu song, there's a menu song that goes through all the menu items at McDonald's. And this is the late 80s. And if the people who sing it, it's like a choir. If they sing it and they sing it all the way through with no mistakes, you'll hear a prompt at the end saying, "You've won $1 million. Call this number and you win." And I don't know. I think I remember the number. Like they put out 8 million of these records on the food bags, and all the other ones would have them starting the menu song, but then it's like a tongue twister. So they get through it, and then they all mess up, and they go and you're not a winner.
So you just have to keep listening to these records to see if you've won.
Yes, every time you go there, maybe you get like the flexi disc.
Mind control.
But I listened to it was some podcast, and they went and did a little spotlight on the person who actually won it, and the story is super interesting. The guy, he was 13 years old, and he was in his garage, or he's in a shed, and he was lighting up a stove with newspapers, and he was just grabbing random newspapers and throwing them into the fire. And I think he stumbled across one of these McDonald's bags with the record on it. And he was, at the time, I think he got a record player, and he was looking for a record to play on it. He might have been kind of a poor kid. This was in Virginia. I think it's Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Galax, Virginia, 1989. And he goes and he puts the record on, plays all the way through. Here's the menu song. And at the end it says, "Call this number. You've won the $1 million sweepstakes."
Jeez.
So I think he calls his mom, and his mom had worked at a grocery store, and she races home. And at first she was like, this isn't real, blah, blah, blah. She ends up going to Chicago or something or other to claim the prize. She wins the money, and the story goes on and on and on, how there's the whole family just turns into a wreck after they win this money. And
yeah, dude, lotteries and shit ruin people.
They do, for sure.
It's a curse.
She goes through a number of husbands, and some of the husbands are just scumbags where they just buy multiple trucks with all of her money, and then they disappear. And I'm pretty sure the mom of the son, bought a grocery store and couldn't manage the grocery store. Like, it was just giving all of her friends, IOU stuff like that. And it's only $1 million.
Yeah.
And there's the daughter, the sister to the brother who won it. They have like this terrible relationship now where they consider each other liars, and the daughter is in and out of jail, and she has this vendetta towards the brother because he always claims that he's the one who found it, and she says she's the one who found it. And at the end of the little spotlight on this guy in the family, he actually says he has the record in this little scrapbook, and he carries it around, and it's his prized possession. And they go and they listen to it, and it's not the winning one.
Oh man.
He's totally disappointed because
did he just make it all up in his mind?
No, he feels like that his mom had to turn in the record, and
right.
Most of the time he was
It
told
was all a dream.
This was the actual record, and he's just never played it. But if I find the podcast was on it, it might have been on Unfictional. It was really good. So it might have been on Unfictional. If you look up like Unfictional McDonald's sweepstakes or something or other, it's pretty interesting. But it's pretty candid because they go back, 40 years later, 30, 40 years later, and you get to hear the aftermath.
Here we are back in time.
Yeah, so it's kind of time traveling.
Yeah.
Well, McDonald's is just wrapped up in a bunch of bullshit. Just with that whole Monopoly game, the guys that were making the pieces, there was a scam where
there?
Yeah, dude, they were printing out the Boardwalk and Park Place or something. Like it was crazy, and they were handing it out to their friends to win $1 million. Like that shit was wrapped in fucking fuckery.
Oh, okay. The podcast is called Lost Notes, and the episode's called $1 million worth of plastic.
Oh, wow.
It's a pretty interesting little listen if you want to listen. 80 million discs were created, all with the wrong song.
That's so many wasted albums just thrown in dumps. Just chucked in dumps. Crazy.
Pretty wild. I was 4 years old.
Me too. 85. Woo.
Hey.
I remember going to the playground at McDonald's and stuff when I was a kid. I mean,
playing in the ball pits.
Yeah, because in 80, what did you say? 80 what?
89. This
89. Jesus, God, I was 11 years old. Yeah, and so I was going there in the early 80s. Just I remember the playgrounds, like I don't know, some of the characters like Grimace and the Hamburglar, and they had well, obviously.
Well, that was in peak advertising, the Happy Meal shit, to get the kids.
Sure, there were some cool ones. Hooked. Yeah, that's how you got, because they started there. I'll try to give a flashback to some people. Like they had these Happy Meal buckets, and they were around Halloween time. So
dude, I remember the buckets. Yeah, they still had that when I was a kid too.
Okay,
they would bring the buckets back around Halloween.
Yeah, it was like green ones, orange ones. Yeah. So they had those, and then they had but. Yeah, I remember on the playground, it was the Grimace thing. You get inside of it and it had bars on it. It had a spring on the bottom.
Yeah, I love those.
Like,
wasn't there a little area up top you can climb up into the top of his head?
Stuff like that. Yeah, there was that. There was a lot of like old school stuff. Now they're all indoors and they're like, keeping kids in this cage area. Yeah.
Yeah, no more outdoor stuff.
So yeah, they're all. I don't know if
leprosy.
Leprosy.
Smothered in leprosy.
Yeah. Actually, in that legend show, they travel back to like the
lepers.
No, I think it's the 14th century where there was like knights and fighting and stuff. And the one dude, they have a machine on the ship. They have like they have a spaceship.
They have a 3D printer.
3D printer that prints anything they need. Yeah, for their clothes and stuff. So like,
from the ether.
No, probably just from historical knowledge, because they have an AI on board, and that kind of runs the ship.
Gideon, just like shove hemp into it.
Yeah,
shove hemp into it, or what?
And that Gideon's also in the Flash.
Yes,
and some other show.
So she runs the all the onboard diagnostic and all that of the ship, but like
it's the ether.
Totally. Well, so it prints out anything they need, and but anyway, they get on the ground and they're all wearing their like 14th century garb, and the one dude, they're all making fun of it, like, why would you dress like that? He's like, well, this was the time frame, because this one guy's a historian and he knows all about it. He's like, yeah, everyone they were scared of leprosy and this and that, because you brought up leper, and that's what brought me back to that. But and then
wait, when did I bring up leprosy?
You just brought it up.
What?
Somebody Grim just brought it up. It said leper.
No,
that was you. I don't know. You're making me confused. So then
one of my favorite topics.
They're walking through the forest, and then King Arthur's wife, like that was that whole thing, time frame or whatever. And so his wife's like, they meet them and they run into her, and then they want to go back to their castle or whatever, because something happened there. One of the pieces of the spear of destiny was actually embedded into Excalibur, the sword stuck in the rock. Yeah, but they find them in the woods, and then she's like, all right, you guys come with me, but your leper stays here. Yeah, that's my leper story. So that was long drawn out nothingness.
Mm-hmm. You guys want to hear my jam of the week?
Yeah, let's hear it, man. Let's jam it up.
You guys can maybe look up some song facts as I play it. It's an Oasis song called "Don't Look Back in Anger."
Ooh,
nice.
Okay.
Exciting!
It's a good one.
Can't wait. Can't
Let me
wait.
check my guitars.
Affleck!
Yeah.
You're fired.
Get it done. What are you people? On dope?
James, can you do me a thumbs up for guitar?
Maybe a little bit more.
You sure?
That sounds good.
Sounding good.
That sounds awesome.
Okay. Un momento. Talk for like 10 seconds, then mute down.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
We're just going to load it up with soundboard. That's all we can do.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
It's the ether.
To be astonished.
Fuck you!
Shut up!
That's nasty.
Ooh, you suck.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The hits keep coming.
Gay!
Oh, shit.
Ring a ding ding, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Yes.
All right.
All right, ready? That's how we filled. That's how we filled
Make
that air.
everybody laugh for a couple of minutes, and we're good to go.
Again, this song is called "Don't Look Back in Anger," and I actually think that it's a reference to a Bob Dylan documentary they made in the 60s. Pretty sure they followed him on tour, and they called the documentary "Don't Look Back in Anger." Oasis. La 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 la. Slip and slide the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? You said that you've never been, but all the places you've seen slowly fade away. So I start a revolution from my bed. 'Cause you say the brains I had went to my head. Step outside, the summertime's in bloom. Stand up beside the fireplace. Take that look from off your face. You ain't ever gonna burn my heart out.
Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as she's walking on by. Her soul slides away, but don't look back in anger. I heard you say, take me to the place where you go, where nobody knows if it's night or day. Please don't put your life in the hands of a rock and roll band. They'll throw it all away. So I start a revolution from my bed. 'Cause you say the brains I had went to my head. Step outside, the summertime's in blow. Stand up beside the fireplace. Take that look from off your face. You ain't never gonna burn my heart out. So Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as she's walking on by. My soul slides away, but don't look back in anger. I heard you say, Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as she's walking on by. My soul slides away, but don't look back in anger. It's not today.
Great job, bud.
It's good.
Very nice. Love that harmonica. The harmonica is just it's such a sweet thing.
Was it okay?
Yeah, man. It's great. Good stuff.
Amazing.
I haven't thought of Oasis in 15 years. Or maybe longer.
They're back.
They're back.
I think they are back.
Are they really back? Oasis?
I think so.
Those guys.
Remember they
I
went.
don't think I've ever seen them anywhere on any tour or anything.
No, I haven't.
My brother went and saw them, I think.
Didn't they say they were bigger than the Beatles and then
Yeah.
kind of got shit on pretty hard?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you don't say things like that.
No.
I think I recently saw on maybe on Twitter an article saying, I don't know if it's Liam Gallagher's son's got a debut album coming out, and everyone was ripping into him, kind of riding the coattails of his dad.
You know, this might be kind of controversial, but I'm not a big fan of the Beatles. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, I just I get it.
Yeah,
they've done their shit and they're groundbreaking or whatever, but I don't know.
It's the same with like Elvis. It's like, come on. I mean, those are they're time periods, man. It's the same thing. Like,
I mean, I respect for what they've done for the music genre, but I just
we were talking about time travel and other dimensions.
Yeah.
I think I saw on YouTube a preview for a new Beatles type
movie, right?
You seen that?
Yeah, I saw something like I know it's ringing a bell in my brain right now.
The premise
or a cobweb
is awesome.
blowing.
The premise is awesome. I want to go see it because this guy, I think he gets in an accident.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
He wakes up and he plays a Beatles song for some of his friends. He plays Yesterday, and everyone.
Yeah, like all of a sudden he's like and the beat.
Everyone goes, "Hey, did you write that song? That's awesome."
Oh God,
no, Paul McCartney wrote it. So he ends up waking up in a universe where the Beatles never existed.
Oh man.
He plays the system, and basically he records and puts out distributes all these songs, and he gets super famous from actually writing the Beatles or using the Beatles songs as his own songs. And it's in modern times, so he's like a YouTube star, and he's just the best singer songwriter in the world. And there's some twist at some point where I think someone comes in and says, we're actually the people that wrote those songs, and they kind of keep it a hush hush in the preview, but it looks pretty cool.
I check that out.
It's just called Yesterday, I think.
I'll go. Here's a bunch of like when I'm search Oasis here, and then like it has 3 different genres that pop up: rock bands, 90s bands, and indie bands. So rock bands, we got the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Radiohead, which is a great band, the Who, Arctic Monkeys. I don't think I've ever heard of them. Led Zeppelin and Nirvana, which Nirvana was. That was a time period for me. You know, like that was a big change in music when that came out in the mid 90s.
Was sweet.
Oh my God, it was. I remember hearing it on the radio for the first time, and they knew it smells like Teen Spirit, obviously, and it blew my mind. Like it was insane. Yeah. And then a little bit after that, like you started, you found out about them, and you see them in a magazine and what they liked and who they were playing with, and that's when you started going down the rabbit hole of music.
Yeah, man, the zines. It was all about zines back then.
Shit, yeah.
I have a pretty vivid memory of my first CD or first tape cassette that really affected me was Better Than Ezra's Deluxe with the it was
nice.
Good living with you
now. I feel good. Yeah.
That was one of those ones that gave me the feels when I was like really young.
Shit, yeah.
So, I can really identify with that.
That was one of the first the first CD I ever got was the Adam Sandler one, because my parents got finally got a CD player, and she always like we would. I remember going up traveling, and I mean this had to been in the early 90s, because I wasn't technically able to buy that CD because it was when they first came out with the parental advisory. And my mom got it, and they didn't have it. Like there was the ones that had it on there or something, and like at the stores they had 2 versions of it.
Oh, she got you like the Walmart edited version?
Well, it wasn't though. It was weird. I don't know. So and my brother got like Boys to Men. Easy.
Dude, one of my first albums, one of the first CDs I bought was the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack and fucking Ace of Base.
Ace of Base.
Yeah, man.
But so that was the first CD I got, but I had tapes, dude. I had tapes and some records. But so the first thing I ever bought was off one of those little turnstile things at convenient, and I bought fucking Motley Crue, Girls, 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 dude.
Mixtapes were sweet, man.
Yeah.
Making mixtapes.
Oh, you remember like taping just taping songs off the radio?
Yep,
I used to
exactly. Yeah, just recording it when Casey Kasem would do it.
Try to get it right.
100. Yeah, man.
It's so good.
I'm Casey Kasem.
Hey, yeah. So other ones that got the 90s bands on here. Blur, you guys remember them, right? Yeah. The Verve, I think I remember them. Blink 182, which is
We were nearly freshmen.
How about Hardball?
Hardball.
They had one hit.
I don't know.
Weezer, which is
Or
still around there
Fastball.
also.
Sorry, Fastball.
Fastball, yeah. I used to play with a hardcore band it's called Madball. They were badass. They're still around too. They still play.
Violent Femmes.
Soundgarden, amazing band.
Oh, we're doing
Throw that CD on, dude. Oh my god, it's so good.
Soundgarden, yeah, dude. They were like 16 years old when they recorded that first album. Australians from fucking 16 years old.
Such a good band. The Pixies, which was a Nirvana,
big inspiration for Kurt Cobain, dude.
Yeah,
Pixies were great, man.
Yeah, they were sweet.
And then they got the indie bands, Franz Ferdinand. Oh, I hated that song.
I don't know that.
That was, I don't know.
Isn't that the one where it was like Sniper?
It's like, oh shit, I'd have to.
Yeah, they had some hits back in the.
They had some hits
in the late aughts. The late aughts.
It was 2000s. Yeah. The Knox, I never heard of them.
No, the aughts. The aughts. No,
it was,
that's what they're called.
Take me out. Hey, I'm listening.
Yeah, take me out. Yeah.
It's got this Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Has a catchy.
And then they had the other one where it was that boy had a girlfriend and you had a boy.
No, that's
the Killers.
Oh, that was the Killer. Okay.
Similar vein.
Caspian, the Libertines. I never heard of them too.
Don't know that.
Vampire Weekend I've heard of.
I don't know about that whole Vampire Weekend thing, but
but I know it's a thing. I know they're a thing.
I know it's a band.
They have like one good song.
Yeah, they have that one song that gets played on. Or maybe not.
I used to love. I mean, obviously, I was so into music back then, man. I could care.
Now you're a square.
Yeah,
just a square.
Square. I remember
seven weenie
when I went to college in art school or whatever in Pittsburgh, and that was the first time they asked me for a square, and I'm like, what?
What did you just say to me? A square?
Yeah, which is a smoke. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, square, man. I'm like, what?
You mean a cigarette?
Square? Yeah, it was a square. And then I met this dude that I went to school with, and this dude Danny Paracat. He was from Jersey, and he was into he had a book. It was like Day One, and at the time I was in the graffiti, like fucking throwing up tags and spray paint and shit.
Oh, you were tagging shit, James?
Oh, I was always doing it. Yeah, I did that for 5 years. And a struggling artist throwing up your work. Tagging was cool. Allegedly, yeah, there you go. Allegedly, I did that all over the place. But and then I went down there, and the dude had he had his own book, and he had all his designs and artwork in there and shit. I'm like, oh, dude, you throw down? Yeah, he's like, so we became friends in like 2 seconds, and then but then he was like, yeah, dude, you got to come over, man. We'll hang out, check out some flicks and stuff. I'm like, all right. So I go over, and I thought we were going to just chill and burn one down and watch a movie, but no, it was flicks. His flicks were pictures. I'm like, okay. So he's checking out all the artwork, all the, over the years he's done. It's pretty funny. I'm like, so I went from squares and flicks, and one day I was blown away. I'm like, what is going on?
We used to call him Mr. Mustopheles. Is that normal?
No, I've never heard of
that. No. Yeah.
I never.
That was just us.
Yeah. Cancer stick. I've heard of. Yeah. It's stuff like that.
Yeah. Dart. Cancer stick.
A dart. Yeah. Lung dart.
Fag. Can I bum a fag?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got another book recommendation that your graffiti days reminds me of.
Oh man, I wrote my tag name was Switch One.
I think I saw,
don't know why it just stuck with me, and then that was my was my dad.
My book recommendation is The Fortress of Solitude. Is the name of the book by Jonathan Latham.
Yeah,
and it catalogs this guy's his youth all the way on up to his career. He might be like a publicist for a music label or something, but as he's growing up, he has friends that do graffiti, and it's very coming of age book, and it's really good. Fortress of Solitude. And they might be in like New York or Brooklyn or something over there, but it's a really good book.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
You might like it.
What was I liked it. I've seen some art books. I know some artists that I'm way out of that game now, and even paying attention to a lot of it. But I did find this. I was down at our countertop cabinet shop place in the city of Cleveland, and across the street there was like this. It was one of those like co-op kind of run places where it was weird because it was like I walked over, I thought I could go in, but it was like closed, and it was like appointment only type place. But so yeah, so they had all different things like screen printing, recording, like all this shit in one building or something. I don't know how it worked. Like it was like a self-serve. I don't know if it was like something like that, or there was artists that worked there and then you worked with them or something. Like all these people were in one like place. It's a very hip and trendy area. Like
sounds orgiastic.
Yeah, it's an orgasmic situation where that all comes together. Boom. Yeah.
Here's a question for you. When you used to do design work, did you have like any go-to albums that you'd like listen to?
Oh yeah, like my iTunes. Yeah, put it on shuffle, dude. I mean, it was all metal stuff basically, and then it would automatically like kick in like some Beastie Boys. But
I have
but then when I started getting hardcore conspiracy, I started getting into it. I mean, I was always into like being like an art, being in that kind of field, like just being a creative kid growing up. So anything like sci-fi stuff like that, really, it caught my eye for sure. I loved it. And then, so it was always there. Like, but yeah. And we were talking to Nish one time. Yeah. And I think art is what gave my mind the expansion, like, the creativity aspect and like, what's more, like there's more, like more. Yeah. Like I needed more. My brain was too small, and it's about the same size still, but I just know too much shit right now, and I can't fit it all in there. But like,
did you ever find entrances to underground areas with tagging?
Oh yeah, like old little like weird things under bridges and stuff. I used to go. Yeah, I've climbed shit. I've done all that weird stuff, man, and got up and getting up. Yeah, but. It can get sketchy. You're doing all that stuff. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's a cool thing. It was cool. Like I enjoyed it. I had like 3 people that I went out with. We would time it up. We'd meet up and then we'd head out, and it never really ran in. I never ran into any problems because we just scoped things out and made sure everything was cool. Like but you had to figure out at first, like if the spot was doable and like what the security issues were like, and just find some old busted building or something. But we used to climb the bridges that are in Cleveland here and go under the scaffolding thing and up some of the beams, and you can get up underneath of it, and there's like service roads and shit under these bridges, and we used to go under there, man, and fucking just hang out there for hours. Man. Yeah, it's a whole adventure. It was very adventurous thing.
That Fortress of Solitude book, there's this big scene in there where one of this guy's friends he becomes legendary because he was able to tag this really high area.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like off of like a silo, but everyone starts assuming that he could levitate like Superman or fly like Superman.
Wow.
And that's where the whole Fortress of Solitude thing comes in. And his friend goes down in history as being the guy who tagged this one area that no one could conceivably see how someone can get up that high or reach this area.
I can't remember some of the writers back then, but like it was cool because I got to see even like history of the tagging in my area, you know, like from some of the old school guys and like how good they were, dude. Like it was awesome, man. It was like a little history lesson going through some of that stuff and going through the RTA, the train lines and all there's so many walls, just miles of it, dude. It's crazy.
Interesting how we don't really, for me,
sit and look at a train when it goes by, dude. It'll blow your mind. Yeah, like, I mean, they
dude,
go by.
Tagged the fuck up, man.
Oh yeah, dude. You know, or whatever, but like
bubble letters.
You also get to know your city pretty well walking around.
That's why I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. Like that's why that was like the main thing. You'd find a spot, you'd meet up there, and or you'd meet up. You're down the way, and then you make your way back. You know, like. You just figure it out, and it always worked out, man. And that, so about halfway through when I lived down in Pittsburgh, I don't know, we just kind of stopped at like, but I was like with their crew, and there was like 8 of us. It got crazy. We couldn't all go out at the same time. Like too many people. Like you can only go out in like 3 people crews.
Never got busted though.
Never got busted. No.
Nice.
The train yards were cool. Those were crazy, dude. It was crazy. Yeah, that's where you're most likely to get caught, but it never happened. They're so big. Like,
yeah, man. And honestly, like you have to think there's not enough police to be able to patrol every single thing.
No, it's not police. Yeah.
Unless somebody sees you and reports something, more than likely you're going to get away with almost everything.
It's not hard, dude. Yeah. Like,
no, dude.
No one's out at 3 in the morning. You know,
no, man. And that was prime, man.
Yeah,
dude. We used to just fucking walk the tracks like for just hours, just roll up a joint out of that, dude. At night, like full moon out, just roll up a couple joints and just walk the fucking tracks. You know, if you hear something coming, you jump off them, dude. They were just those were great fucking nights.
Yeah,
I love this. I call myself a city Billy, dude. I could live in a freaking New York City, and I can live in the BFE, dude. I grew up in BFE, you know, like. I like either way. I'd like it either way. I'm versatile like that. But I don't know. What else you guys want to roll down with?
I was going to mention that I have a vivid memory of being like a sophomore in high school and writing an English paper and last minute staying up all night to finish it. And I was listening to Eminem's Marshall's Mathers EP. On repeat, just like again and again and again and again.
I got a hold of these like rap battles that he used to be in these rip CDs, dude. That this kid gave me in college. Yeah, it was like in '99, and oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. Like it was really cool. Like they hear him freestyling and rapping and shit. Yeah.
Did you see the spoof of Chris D'Elia, or he's like the comedian?
Okay.
Yeah, I know that comedian, yeah.
He does like a spoof of Eminem doing a freestyle, and he's like spot on. We should play it. You should find it. And he's in his garage, and he goes, "I'm in my garage." And he's got all the
spaghetti. Yeah.
He has all the mannerisms down where how Eminem just like he paces and looks real mad and
also another genre that I was into. Oh,
you find it?
Another genre that I was into, the whole like my ex, man. We were into that rave scene. Whoa. The hell?
Playing in the hand trick with Danica Patrick. I'm saying it, and that's it. Nick Cannon's fantastic.
What is this?
Designs and foxes. Designs and foxes. While I'm listening to the Loxes. A whole bunch of boxes.
A bunch
right
of boxes.
In my garage with a bunch of large cars inside of the barge. A bunch of my cars in a large garage. Swerving in an emergency lane with cars from New Jersey.
Jesus.
Are these actual lyrics? To,
He's just making it up. He's just walking around his garage grabbing shit. That's pretty good.
From Jersey.
Oh man, yeah. I was saying I was back in the rave days. I used to. I wasn't into like a lot of it, but I was in like some of it. I liked.
But he was into most of it.
Yeah, just some of it.
Sandstorm? No, yeah. Yeah. Oh God.
Did you wear like the huge fucking Cat in the Hat hats with the pacifier?
No, I just had some Jankos for sure.
Oh, dude,
I didn't
absolutely.
always wear my binky on a lanyard.
Oh no. We used to travel. That was another adventure, man. We would travel like pretty far to go to some of these things, man. And now, yeah, like before I lived in Pittsburgh, stuff like that. We went there for a rave. It was in an old mall. It was.
Yeah, I've been to my fair share. They're pretty hilarious.
Dude, they were some crazy times.
Some crazy ones for sure.
Yeah. I went to ones that were at a KO8 campground. It was huge, dude. Like it was thousands and thousands of people. Family Affair is what it was called. And they had like 5 tents, just people just all fucked up, of course. Mm-hmm. But that was a crazy time period. Yeah.
I bet that was a crazy time period.
It really was, dude. Yeah. All that one. About a 4-year span, it was a lot of just going with the flow, dude.
Yeah, dude, I totally understand that.
Yeah,
definitely.
And just gonzo, just rolling out. Like,
well, when you get in your early 20s, like late teens and shit, like shit's just fucking off the rails.
20.
Yeah, man, that's when everything just gets fucking insane.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god,
as long as you don't do something stupid and like get married out of high school and knock a bitch up, like your early 20s should be the best years of your life.
Well, I was with that chick for a while. I met her right out of high school, and we were together for like 4 or 5 years or something. We ended up getting married, and that only lasted like 1 year, and then that was toast. That never should have happened. If I had the time machine, I'd go back 10 minutes.
Go back.
Yeah, that was just a dumb thing, man. It's just 2 kids.
That shotgun wedding?
Yeah. No, not at all. Like, it was planned. That's the only thing I felt bad about. We didn't have kids or anything. Thank God we didn't have it.
Yeah, thank God, they definitely.
But yeah, it was like 22.
That's nuts, man. People shouldn't be able to get married before they're 50.
22 years old. Yeah.
Like once you turn 50, once you turn 50, then you got all your shit out of your system. You figured out everything, and then it's like, I need to, I'm getting old now. I might want to find somebody to get old with me and take care of each other.
They need to establish some kind of fuck clubs for old folks. Like those people who want to get laid, they don't want any attachments. And I know if there's people like me who want it, then there's got to be women. So.
Oh yeah,
you just gotta look. I'm sure
old
they're
folks
out there.
fuck club. Oh, dude, I guarantee online there's swiping.
I never thought I'd get like go down the path again, but I did. It took me a few years to even just. Like, all right, I got to get back out here in the game.
Yeah, dude, that's my issue I'm having right now.
Yeah.
I can't get back in the game. And like any single fucking female that I talk to just disgusts me for some reason.
That's tough.
I have an issue right now.
Man. Yeah.
I got an issue where it's like, I know what I like. And it's like, if I don't, there's a lot of things that raise red flags instantly. I'm like, nope, that's not happening. And dude, when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 30s, it's like all there is either single women who are too crazy to have been hitched already, or you just get a bunch of fucking baggage with it already. It's just like
2 kids.
Coffee shops.
No, I don't go to coffee shops. Maybe I should.
Just go to a coffee shop with like a.
But then I feel like you just meet some dumb pretentious bitch at a coffee shop. I don't want that shit.
An iMac and what else?
Not an iMac, a MacBook.
MacBook.
Do you guys have Johnny's?
Bring my whole computer here.
Do you have Johnny's New York Pizza up there?
No,
I don't have. I've never heard of that. No,
it's a chain.
Okay,
like
Oxygen Bar,
Marco's Pizza.
I went to one of those before.
It's a small chain. It's not nationwide apparently, but they usually has some decent looking older women there at night on Fridays who are getting drunk. So
nice.
Go pick off the 60-year-olds off the bar.
I'm reminded of something that I was gonna bring up a while back, and this reminds me of it.
Let's hear it. Old lady sex.
Yeah, something like that. There was
Black-eyed grannies.
Chinese restaurant, and I went to the Chinese restaurant, and there's this like apartment above the Chinese restaurant, and when you open up the door, it's half sushi on the left, and then Chinese fare on the right, and then right in the center there's like a stairs that go down to a basement and upstairs to like an apartment.
Ooh.
All in this one little area. And I'm leaving with my Chinese food, and I have like 2 bags, and there's these 2 older ladies and 2 real like young looking like 20-year-old guys, and they're emptying this the back of this SUV, and the ladies just seemed a little off there. They're a little off because I was I held the door open for one of them.
Yeah.
And then they just were taking advantage of me, and I had these 2 Chinese bags, and I was like, I was actually moving her box out of the way because I couldn't get out after a while. She had this box. They had like box.
Did she shave it?
No, just wait. So she had this box of, they just had a ton of different pink flamingos, like little lawn ornaments, and like actual birch tree branches in these boxes. And I go and I would just like start kicking the box out of the way with my foot, like just pushing it a little bit. And the lady was talking to the other lady like I wasn't even there, like, he's trying to move our or steal our boxes. And I'm pretty sure there's a bed and breakfast upstairs. So something was going on. It was either like a retirement party, a graduation party, or these 2 older ladies were getting with these 2 younger guys, and it was just some weird flamingo birch tree experience they were prepping for, and I was like right in the middle of it.
Oh,
it was very odd.
Very odd.
They were just like young, like wet behind the ears, 2 young guys, and these just 2 older ladies just seemed like they were on something, or and I don't know.
They were on something, no doubt.
It was weird. Pink flamingos.
It's crazy when you come across like me. Pretty much, yeah. I don't know. I don't do anything anymore. I have a beer once in a while. I totally quit drinking, and then that was because I just switched from vice to vice. I stopped smoking weed I smoked for like 22 years straight. and then all of a sudden I was like, poof, done. You can shut it off if you it's all willpower. Same with cigarettes. I quit smoking cigarettes and weed at the same time. It was insane.
I don't think I could ever quit smoking weed.
It was tough, dude.
I really don't think I could ever quit smoking weed, to be honest.
Yeah, that was rough. I do miss it. I'd have to.
No, that's the thing. I have no desire to, so it's there's no reason.
I miss it.
There's no reason to.
No, there isn't.
I mean, the problem is the couple times that I got to smoke over the last year or two, I just go full bore and do it. Back when you can't do that.
Sleep on toilets.
It's like, okay, time to fucking take a nap. I was like, oh. Then I'm like, what are these kids
public
these days?
Fall asleep on a public toilet right after some girl. Right after some girl fucking licked that toilet for her YouTube video.
But it wasn't tranny. It was divine.
It was divine.
That's a reference to pink flamingos from Felix. Never mind. You guys, you've never seen pink flamingos.
Nope.
Divine, who's a
comedy?
transvestite. Yeah, she licks shit like toilet seats and garbage cans and.
Oh
man,
it's a bizarre movie. Don't watch.
I don't know.
It'd be a toilet seat, man.
Some of them times were great, man. Some really sucked, but
we got Paramania down here in 2 weeks.
I know, man. I wanted to try to look that up.
Happening.
I don't know. I guess we could just do the Crypticon again. I don't know. That's the only thing I'm thinking of right
now.
You
guys could drive down.
I don't know. I tried.
Oh, it's too late now.
That out. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Ren's coming down. Ren's going to be here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good turnout there.
Josh Kutchin.
Yeah,
I think Banal's coming.
Tim Banal,
Adam O'Reilly.
I heard Bosley was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool, man. That was our first meetup, obviously, and our first experience at Crypticon, going to one of these events, and I think,
dude, Leo's
what's
talking
it,
about getting a
Contact
booth
in the
and
deserts going on out there. I think
I don't
coming
ever
up.
want to go hang out with the cultists at Contact at the desert.
No, it's about the
thanks.
people, dude. It's about that, like going to meet up with your.
It's about filming the sex parties in the houses
Oh,
that they
no.
rent together.
Oh, for real? They have huge sex parties at Contact in the desert?
Huge. Yeah.
Really? There's
They get-
huge
they get
orgies, huh?
fucked up
Those
as
birch
fuck.
branches.
Yeah, because you know how many women go out there and their husbands are like, "You're gonna go to Crazy Con? Bye."
Yeah, you gotta go to Crazy
man.
Con.
Yeah.
They're
man.
just taking fucking
going
a
to hang
bunch
out
of
with all your weirdo friends.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh,
I
man,
just
if you
assume they're all
pretended to be
single.
an alien,
getting motor yes, getting motorboated by Jimmy Church. That's what I'm talking about.
Go back to Tbone.
He whispers. He whispers.
spells
Go back
it with his tongue.
Yes.
Go back.
Whispering. Go back. Teppy into their vaginas.
Whispering, get the tea.
Is that on
Get the
Urban
tea.
Dictionary?
Get the tea. Oh shit.
Get the tea.
Go
And when
go
you
back
do
like
the tea,
Teppy.
you gotta flick your tongue up.
Yes, get the tea. So to end that, if there's any nice girls out there who just want to watch anime and talk about weird shit, hit me up.
This is the way you can do it, dude. Yeah.
Hit me up.
Cruise Mistake Sweepstakes.
Cruise
No
Mistake
doubt.
Sweepstakes.
Yeah, we could.
Keyword sweepstakes. Like
Yes.
Cruise Mistakes.
Oh, I like that. See what you did there.
yeah, that's good.
Like EAK instead of AKE.
We can auction
Okay.
you off, dude.
Dude, we could, like eligible bachelor style. We could do this. We can make this work.
We can
Every
get like 10 chicks.
every month you should do a little bit of your bio,
Oh yeah.
like
That'd be
your
great.
attributes.
Yeah, I don't have much of those.
Just show your Dungeons and Dragons
I
character.
got a cat.
Oh, dude,
and
I have my dead
D&D.
ones or my alive ones. I got stacks.
Oh,
Are they
man,
all named
I know.
Grimsteak or just that one?
No, every single one is named Grimsteak.
Yeah, they're all
different variations of the spelling of Grimsteak. And it got to the point where this new campaign we started, Nomad, was like, you can't make a fighter. He's like, you have too many fighters. You cannot make a fighter. It's not allowed. So I had to make something different.
Barbarian.
Yeah, dude, frenzied barbarian, frenzied berserker.
K-Dog says he would pound
Jimmy
off
Sweet-
to some anime with you.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
I'm
there
down.
you go.
Oh,
Pound
yeah,
off with some anime?
that's right.
Maybe
I need to
you
hook
could
up with,
find- get bailed too. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's got experience with that.
Me, K-Dog's girlfriend, we could all jerk off together. Dude, it'd be awesome.
Could you be instead of like a barbarian, could you be like a chimney sweep?
That'd be pretty sweet.
We'll run with the broom.
Like Dick Van Dyke.
Clean up after all the,
Rooftops.
you clean up after all the
I
fights.
cast charcoal dust on you.
It would be good rogue role play. You could, be a rogue.
Oh, shit.
You clean up after all the battles.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you're mop up duty. Come in. Yeah.
The jizz mopper.
Oh.
I did that.
Oh.
Back to the
It's all over the. It's everywhere. It's all over me. Oh.
Shit. I don't know, guys. I think it's a good spot to better. Couldn't think of a better spot to wrap up than on this.
Yeah.
Jerry, who you got on next Mente tomorrow night?
We have Mr. Nathan Lee Miller, Foster.
Oh, a cult fan?
Yeah.
Dude, that's gonna be a good show.
Because Mr. Ryan Pepperly had to cancel.
Is a cuck. He's a fucking cuck. He'll say it.
We got to get him back on.
Yeah, he said he had to postpone it. He had other things to do. It was tough for him to do Wednesday nights.
You know why? I'm pretty sure he's dating a bunch of Starbucks baristas. So that motherfucker, he's off the grid now. But he's gonna have some kind of oh yeah.
He's sampling the beans, as it were.
Yeah, sampling the beans. There you go. That's what I'm saying, man. Once you get a woman in your life, it's all over. But
that's cool.
But fuck
That's
it.
cool.
Roasting the
Cruising with
He's
steak.
been giving me shit about coming on for a long time. I finally pinned
I
him down.
know,
and
I love
awesome.
Ryan, so I'm just gonna call him a fucking cuck. 'Cause
He's,
I know, how-
he's,
you know,
he's shy. Leave him alone. He's shy.
he is
He was the one that traveled back to 1928 and it was that hipster.
Probably.
Yeah.
probably.
He's one of those lumberjack hipsters, isn't
Yes. Yeah.
Is a cult fan going to do the interview on Nox Mente with his Bob Barker microphone?
I hope so. Cult fan. We can get a cult fan
No.
back on. He's making a lot of changes. We need to
He's
have him
true.
hang
Yeah.
out. Maybe next
He's,
week we'll get him on.
he's all in the
he? Marshall and Jacob and I had a really interesting conversation with him.
cool.
He lost the recording of.
Oh, he
Aw.
lost it?
I don't know. He never answered me. I've asked him like 3 times. He never answers. He just like dodges the question.
Did he record it on a Talkboy?
No, he was recording a Zoom and
you can spell.
I think I know what happened. I think he was recording it and then he left the chat and came back in. And never started re-recording it. I think that's what happened.
Damn.
Shoot.
None of us thought.
Surprisingly, after 90 episodes of Cruise with Mistake or whatever, we've only had a couple incidents where like we didn't record the intro one time. And I hit my power switch on my foot. But other than that, our recordings have been pretty solid, running on a fucking 15-year-old computer. cruisewithmistake.com/donate.
/donate. Yeah.
Mine's 10 years old. I run a show.
Check it out.
Man. Works. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We love you all. Good vibes. Don't let the fucking mainstream media brainwash you.
Yes.
Just have to think for yourself. Question authority. Fuck them all.
Do your research.
Grimstake@gmail.com. Thanks, Watcher. Thanks, Felix. Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thanks to guys in the chat.
Big shouts out. Big shouts out to K-Dog. I think he's our number 1 fan now. He just got that ranking, so we're stealing him.
Talamh, you suck.
Yeah, Talamh bailed on us. He used to hang out. Yeah. Nah, he's still around. We love you, Talamh. Fucking love you.
First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is.
Sweet.
In your pants.
Man with hand in pocket. Feel cocky all day.
There it is. Thanks for listening, guys. Goodbye.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
My reality all day, stopping, stalling, freezing, languishing, 2, 3, and 4. Baby, 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 you put me on the ledge. You shove me off the edge. I lift myself back up to the top of a pyramid and jinx, sphinx, and curse, leave me alone. I'm screaming through a megaphone. Can you hear me now? Can you raise me clearly now? What kind of friend is this? Really? You're gonna go and ruin my rep? That's fine, I'm gonna leave this town. I'm 10 steps ahead of the speed of sound. Hex, curse, your purse. Isn't that where you keep one of your 2 faces? Watch as my memory erases. All I think about is lyrics now. I'm releasing these spirits now. Baby, 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 I'm a bag of teddy bears. You are the incarnation of Pandora's box. Pandora's box. I'll say it again. You are the incarnation of Pandora's box. I got a kind-hearted woman. She studies evil all the time. Baby, 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 you put me on the ledge. You shove me off the edge. I lift myself back up to the top of a pyramid and jinx, sphinx, curse, leave me alone. I'm screaming through a megaphone.